So today we have three chapter leaders. Well, I'm hearing some feedback from someone. There we go. That's better. All right. So today we have Teresa Nelson from the Brule St. Croix Chapter in northern Wisconsin. She's been involved with the BSC Chapter for about 6 years, and she handles hike planning promotion to local schools. She handles like stocking brochures around the area, and then some maintenance. I had the pleasure of meeting her when I did part of a through hike with Lisa Sela, and she came and rescued us from a rainy night on trail. So lots of good trail angel magic happening there. We also have Lynn Meister Thomas from the Marquette Area Chapter from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. She this year became the president of the chapter, and yeah, let's see. She's been hiking the NCT for at least 40 years. And I think like a lot of us, a lot of that time spent hiking on the NCT maybe wasn't really aware that she was hiking on the NCT. That happened to me a lot before I started to get involved with the association as well. And then lastly, we've got Carol Wright from the Wampum chapter in Pennsylvania. She's been a member of the chapter since 2009. So we've got a lot of really great experience here, ready to share a little bit about how the NextGen folks can be more involved on a local level. So the first thing I wanted to do was like a popcorn style introduction. So I'll start and then I'll pick someone else to go next. And I'll put in the chat too what I want you guys to share. It'll just be your name, the state that you live in, and if you're involved with the local chapter, what the name of that chapter is, and then your favorite hiking snack. So let me just copy and paste that into the chat so it won't be hard to forget or hard to remember. So I'm Felicia Hawkins' dad. I lead the Next Generation Coalition. I'm currently living in Minnesota, and I'm on the board for the Border Route Trail Association, which is an affiliate to the North Country Trail. And my favorite hiking snack is pickles. And I'm gonna popcorn that over to Teresa.
All right, let's see. So I'm Teresa Nelson. I'm in Wisconsin. My chapter is the Brule St. Croix Chapter. And my favorite hiking snack is beef jerky. So do I popcorn or do you? I popcorn. Okay, I'm gonna popcorn to Madeline.
Hi, I'm Madeline Blivis. I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'm a member of the West Michigan chapter. And speaking of popcorn, I have been getting really into making my own trail mix lately, and I found like a bunch of recipes online, and one that I tried recently that was really good is like popcorn and cranberries and beef jerky and just kind of a bunch of random stuff. So yeah. Oh, okay. So popcorn over to Sarah.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm in Stowe, Ohio. I'm not currently with a chapter. I was with the local Buckeye Trail chapter, but since kind of joining the NCT here, I have not found a North Country Trail specific chapter yet. But my favorite trail snack, probably anything with like chocolate and nuts, whether that be granola bars, trail mix, anything chocolate and nuts, I'm there. And I'm going to popcorn to Lauren.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lauren Kennedy Little. I currently live in Pittsburgh, PA. I'm involved with the Wampum chapter as of like a few weeks ago, but I haven't gotten out and done anything with them yet. And my favorite hiking snack would be beef jerky, but since that one was taken, I would have to also say I like pretzels. And I'm gonna popcorn it over to, how about Stephanie?
Hi, Can you guys hear me? I've been having headset issues. Okay, cool. I'm located in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but I'm involved with the Chief Noonday chapter. They just have a place in my heart. I was working in Kalamazoo, so I just make the hike down to them sometimes. And my favorite hiking snack is mixing M&Ms with peanuts. That's pretty basic, but and I'll popcorn over to Katie.
Hello, nice to see you again, Stephanie. So my name is Katie Cochran. I used to attend NMU, so I was a part of the Marquette, Michigan chapter. And since I've moved to Illinois, I'm still staying involved just from afar. And I'm sure I'll make the hike up sometime soon and get involved on the trail again soon. So my favorite hiking snack, I don't know, I really like Cliff Bars. I feel like that's a hard one to get away from. They're just so convenient. I was already muted. Okay. I will popcorn over to Carol.
Hi, everybody. I'm Carol Wright, and I am a member of the Wampum chapter. And my favorite snack is, I like any type of power bar that gives you energy bars, stuff like that. But I want to say a shout out to Lauren. Hi, Lauren. I talked to her on the phone. I have to tell you the story when Felicia, when you asked if I would participate in this, I thought, you know, I'm going to go and look at the website there about NextGen, and I read it down, and then at the very bottom I saw Lauren. I went, oh, I just sent her a welcome new member letter like last week, so I got a hold of her and we had a nice conversation on the phone. So yeah, that's it. Oh wait, I need to. Let's see here. Who hasn't? How about Connor?
Can't hear you, Connor.
All right, are we good now?
That's better. Yep. That's better.
Okay, awesome. My name is Connor. I live in Charlevoix, Michigan. I'm with the Jordan Valley chapter. I've done some group hikes and I did some early season trail maintenance with them. And my favorite hiking snack is probably those little like applesauce packets. They just like suck out of like the little plastic tubes. Yeah, they're so good and they're so easy to like eat on the go. And I'm gonna popcorn over to Tessa.
My name's Tessa. I live in Michigan, in the UP in Ironwood, but also sometimes in Ohio. But less now than like ever before in my life. So my chapter is the Nemakanake chapter. I have volunteered with them a little bit. I've been in touch with the president to like see what volunteering opportunities I can do like in my free time, like at my own pace kind of thing. And I went to one meeting and then they were like, will anyone please be our secretary? So I volunteered. So I think next meeting is like the formal election, but basically it was like everyone begging someone else to do it. So anyways, I gladly will be the secretary. And my favorite hiking snack, I really like these Lara bars. They have like just a few like natural ingredients and stuff, and they're really good. I like the texture of them, but really like anything when I'm hiking, whatever like leftover food. I work outside, so like everything is a hiking snack. You can package it up however you need. And then popcorn, Sarah.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry, I didn't realize the light's so weird. My name's Sarah. I am calling in from Ypsilanti, Michigan. It's in the Lower Peninsula, kind of in the Southwest. I am part of the Chief Noonday chapter, just like Seth, and my favorite hiking snack which I feel like you guys have all talked about ones that are like really great for carrying, but mine always gets like squished, which is like kind of the fun of it. But my favorite is the Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies. And then if I'm correct, the last popcorn is Lynn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lynn Meister Thomas, and I'm in Marquette, Michigan. And my favorite hiking snack are those fig bars. They come in different flavors. They're fig, but they have raspberry and blueberry. And I don't know, they're just really satisfying. So, and I think I was the last one. So.
Yep, I think that's all of us. So the next part of the workshop, I think we'll just do kind of like a between Lynn, Teresa, and Carol. They can just go through it and answer a few questions that I prepared beforehand, and then we can open it up to like discussion if there are additional questions. Sorry, I'm making a lot of noise with this highlighter probably. So the first question is, what do typical volunteer roles look like within your chapter? And then maybe Lynn, you can just kick it off.
Well, the one that obviously most people think of is trail maintenance, and obviously that's an important volunteer role. But something that I think people should be aware of is there are a lot of administrative tasks. Kudos to you, Tessa, for being on the board, and that's exactly what happened to Felicia in our chapter. But even not being on the board, we have a social committee that I was really hoping that younger people would be a part of, just to come up with ideas for things we're doing. You could write letters, newsletter articles. We have a welcome sort of committee, various administrative things that would be nice for people to pick up besides the obvious trail maintenance. I can pick Carol.
Okay, well, being membership chairman, I'd like to find out where their interests are as a new member. If whether they be there in person or whether I communicate with them by email. It's people join the chapters for different reasons. People like to join because we're a hiking group, and that's the reason why they like to do it. Some people like to be outdoors, work outdoors, so they go for trail maintenance. As far as like doing social things, our hike committee, and we had a new woman that just took this over within the last year, has been doing great things with our hiking, with our hikes, and she actually turned some of them into events, like our St. Patrick's Day hike. Everybody that went on the hike, we have a guy that dresses up like Bigfoot because it's known now as the St. Patrick's Day Bigfoot hike, and he'll, pop out at them on the trail. And then after they complete the hike, they come back to our meeting site at the train station. We have hot dogs, baked beans. There's items there that they can purchase if they want. There's sheets we have there that if they're interested in anything else, they can sign up for it. And then that prospective chairman of that chapter or committee will contact them and try to get them involved in something. So, and that's been working. In fact, Lauren can probably attest to that, because in my letter I sent her a list of our committees, and I said if there was anything this was before I knew she was on this committee, but I sent her a list of all the different committees, and if there was something of interest to let me know, and we would get her involved in that. But I think we're going to work on having her come and help us with some trail work. So, but like I said, it's what that person joined for, and what do they hope to get out of being involved in the North Country Trail. Do you want to pick somebody? How about Teresa?
Okay, let's see. So our chapter in the Brule St. Croix area, we do a hike schedule, a spring and fall hike schedule. So I'm always looking for hike leaders to, lead hikes, or you could come on a hike and assist by being the sweep make sure we don't lose anybody out there. There's certainly trail sections to adopt. You know, that's a big section of volunteering. And then I wanted to give a shout out also to the Rovers crew, which is sort of Wisconsin based. I think it's Wisconsin based. I don't think they go outside of Wisconsin, but they, Bill Menke runs it, and they'll take a week, you know, in the summer. I think it's May, June, July, August, September, October, maybe even November. And they'll, you know, do trail maintenance projects on the trail. And so, you know, extra hands there is probably always wanted. So those would be some of the things I would highlight.
Cool, thank you guys. The next question then is, when youth volunteers make themselves available to your chapter, what are you doing to involve them? So that could be that could be a very expansive question, but we can go in the same order just to keep it not confusing.
Okay, I was telling Felicia at the beginning, this sort of caused me to do some self-examination, because then I'm like, well, really, what are we doing to make them feel welcome and involved? But a couple of things that I really noted that are especially well suited to a younger member is we had someone take over our social media, the Instagram account, and he pulled in just a different group of people because his friends, and he was also involved in the NMU conservation crew. So bringing in a lot of students, and I think social media, a lot of our older board members aren't that comfortable with it. And so that's perfect for young people. And then we also had a recent NMU grad, a biology grad, and she's been doing some interpretive leading of our hikes. So we have a regular hike leader, but then she'll stop and talk about the flora and fauna or the rocks. And just using that expertise of recent grads is I think a really great way to involve young people from our area.
Well, as far as having youth, I don't know about you guys, but it's really hard to get young people. We have been fortunate that we did have a couple of teenagers join our chapter. In fact, they're still members. They had special projects that they wanted to do, and they did. One young lady wanted to put up these bat boxes down on the one section of trail. So she had them made, and we installed them. And she also installed little first aid kits at our shelters and things like that. And she won the Rising Star Award several years ago. We had another young fellow who's a high school student, and he started out by walking the trail and then realizing that he could get involved in it. And he helped when we just completed, about a year and a half ago, a 2.5 mile new section of trail. And there's probably about 15 bridges on this section. And he was really involved in it to the point that he did a lot of work. The guys were so impressed with this young man, and he also won the Rising Star Award. But what happens to some of these young folks like this, they're out of high school now, and then they go on to pursue their career, even though they are still members, but they go to college, and there's other things that are also of interest to them. But those are the two that I can tell you for, that were examples of having young people. But I'm open for anything else to try to get some of these young folks. We have tried several times to contact colleges. And one of the things I wanted to do was go to a college campus, set up a table, and have some literature, talk to some people. But, the COVID was one thing. And then a lot of the students were doing their college courses online. And we're still trying to contact some colleges, but it's really, really hard to get through to them. So, but we're not giving up. So I have a couple of ladies that are pursuing a couple of local colleges here. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, so for getting, I don't know, for getting involved, I think probably the best way, like as a family, we've moved around a lot. So I've been the new person in the community a number of times. And so what I learned in that, it's just best to just go, if something interests you, like I did here, when I stumbled across the trail in my neighborhood, I was like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. I have to get involved. And then there was a sign up there. I contacted the people and I just started attending the meetings and then attending the group hikes. I didn't at that time lead the group hikes, but I was just trying to learn kind of what does the chapter do and where could I fit and what, so I guess don't be afraid to just step out and get involved and, just jump into something and, make some contacts or bring a friend, have 2 people come to the meeting. Anytime some of our chapter members turn up at a meeting, we're just, we're our new members, especially, you'll be welcomed, you'll be, introduced, people, just come and figure out if there's a niche for you in the spot and don't be afraid to ask questions and reach out because I think we just don't know sometimes how to, how to, make that connection, I guess. That would be my 2 cents, I guess.
Thank you. So the next question kind of goes hand in hand with that one. What are some things that you wish young volunteers knew about,
like how they could get involved with your chapter? Or what are some things that you wish young volunteers knew about the North Country Trail Association in general?
I guess I don't know if this is exactly answering the question, but something that really has occurred to me is I would really like young people to know that your voice is very important and please speak up. And I'm afraid that sometimes older adults, and a lot of times boards are made up of a lot of older adults, we know how we've always done it and we think we're experts and you could feel like you're being shut down. And I would encourage you to recognize your voice is very, very important. And please just stand up for yourself and speak up and be a part of it because we need you. So that would be my biggest thing I wish youth knew.
Well, one of the things I think we try is that our chapter really is a fun group. We hold parties, we have holiday parties, we've had picnics that the whole family is always welcome to come to. We might be older, but we still have life left in us to participate and do all kinds of things. But like Lynn said, we too tell the young folks if there's something you want to suggest or something you'd like to see, please let us know because hey, we're always open to new and fresh ideas. So.
Let's see. I would just that, you might be surprised as you get involved how many really interesting people you come across and how many interesting life experiences that they had. And, what a great group of people both, help maintain the trail and also participate in the meetings and the group hikes. It's, I've been pretty impressed with the people that I've, gotten to know now as being part of the North Country Trail. So there's a lot of great people to come in contact with and to meet and to talk with about something you all share and love. So it's a good group. The hikes never sour or there's never any shortage of conversation on our group hikes. People are just chatting away. So I think it's just when we're out hiking, a lot of times we hike solo and, these opportunities connect you to people who also like to do what it is that you like to do.
That's a good one too. I know I've moved to a few different states now, and like local chapters of the NCT or affiliates, like the Border Route Trail Association, are how I've built community with like a new area. Because like I moved to the UP when I was 20 or 28 or 29 or something, and I didn't know anybody up there, and I joined the
North Country Trail Hikers and just kind of started there, like building friendships and like finding, I guess, community through hiking. And then just recently we moved to Minnesota, and that's just like joining the hiking community has always been a great way to meet new people in a new area. So definitely joined some group hikes. And now I know like COVID isn't completely gone, but like the real intense part of it is sort of going away. So I guess it just feels a little bit safer to get together nowadays.
The next one, what are you doing to make trail maintenance workdays more welcoming and accessible to volunteers with less experience? So a lot of times new volunteers aren't really going to be familiar with the like even the most basic aspects of trail maintenance. So like what kind of work does your chapter do to make that more approachable?
I actually think that we haven't necessarily been really good at that. I think frequently we've made assumptions that people know how to use loppers or have these ideas like that. We have tried to make shorter hours for our work, some of our work sessions, and we've tried to include some evenings. So not just aimed at college students, but young families that maybe could come out for an evening and work. We did try to have a trail maintenance kind of training, and Katie, that might have been when you were there, and Felicia too. Just at Wetmore Pond, we tried to have someone come out and just talk about the basics. And I guess I would appreciate your feedback if you thought that was a worthwhile or a valuable thing to offer, either just to NMU students or any new people who want to try.
Yeah, I mean, I could offer feedback right now, and I can elaborate later too if you want to talk again. I don't remember that specific event that you had held, but I would say that any opportunity for the NCT chapters to really teach students who have never done it before in a professional light is amazing, because that's what we do, but our co-leaders oftentimes have conflicting schedules and students only have so much availability. And also we only know so much. So having a chapter member who's more experienced in that sort of like professional trail maintenance, like bridge building or corridor construction, that's really cool to get the students involved in. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, they want to do it again. And so it's a great start and a great opening experience for them to get hooked onto trail maintenance for sure.
I agree. I think that makes it a lot more approachable when you're creating like a specific environment for beginners to come in. It can be a little bit scary if you've never done trail maintenance to just show up to a work day, but that's the introvert in me speaking. So.
No, I totally agree. Like, it's really difficult. My first experience was with Lynn Branham as I was a freshman, and she was so outgoing that it helped me feel more secure in my abilities to try something I'd never done before. I'm from Illinois, so I'd never been on the NCT before, but I'm the prime example of someone who is a great, I don't know, just a great poster child, I guess, of someone who can be converted really easy with the right person on the trail.
So when we do our outreach events or some of our community events, we have a paper that it's called the volunteer interest form. And on that, they can give their name, their email, and then there's different boxes that they can check off. It could be hikes, it could be trail maintenance, membership, events. So I generally collect those, and then I go down the list. Now, normally what I was doing, I was passing these on to the appropriate chapter chairman. But just recently now, we're going to do something a little bit different when we get these. I I'm going to contact them first, ask them, especially if it's trail work, their availability, how much experience and so forth. And then what I will do is pass them on to an experienced trail maintainer. And they will work with them with their schedule, if they're available only on a weekend, if they prefer to do something during the week, take them out on the trail with them and show them, you know, the ropes, so to speak, if they've never handled a weed whacker or like Lynn said, pruners or, you know, loppers or something like that. So that's, we just started this and we're going to see how this approach goes. I think, like we said, you know, sometimes saying, okay, we're going to have this, you know, trail crew meet here today and we're going to start doing this. And they're going to go, geez, I never did this before. So I really feel uncomfortable being in a big group and letting them know that I'm not real experienced. So we're going to keep it small, you know, maybe 2 or 3 together at a time. So I'll let you know down the road how that goes. Hopefully it'll go well.
Well, I would just report that the first few times I went on any trail maintenance kind of day, you know, that I was, I guess, lucky, or maybe it's, you know, maybe it's not lucky, but and maybe it's more common than you might think, is that the Phil Anderson was our trail maintenance guy, and he for a while, and he would do work days, and I just showed up and he said, so do you know how to use this? And I said yes or no, and then he'd show me if I, you know, so I've always had really good guidance from people in our group, you know, and Bill Benke would be another example of someone who's like a really, you know, someone who's going to help you find your way. So, you know, I guess we just don't assume that people do know how to, you know, do something or work something when it comes to trail maintenance. On the job training.
Cool. And then I just have one more question. So if there are any questions in the audience, or if there aren't yet, maybe you can kind of think of some things that you might want to ask the chapter leaders while we have them. But what are some upcoming events that you would like the Next Generation Coalition to know about? Maybe we can join you there.
Well, I don't know that we have any major events. We have been trying, this is new for our chapter because we keep trying to do this and not, but we're trying to make sure we have at least one monthly group hike. And I think, Carol, I might have even gotten the idea from you about the theme. That's kind of fun to have a different theme for each hike. So we've tried to do a little bit of that too. And then we're also trying to start something we're calling Trail and Ale. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with Marquette, but we have a lot of breweries. And we're just trying to have one night a month that we meet at one of the breweries and just talk about stuff for the trail. We might have a little more formal presentation, or one time we did, it was just the brewery itself set up trivia for trail and hiking stuff. So those, I guess, watch our Facebook page. If you're up in Marquette, please join us. It'd be great.
I have to tell you, Lynn, when the celebration was held up there in Marquette, it's just beautiful. I just never seen anything so beautiful up there. It's just really nice. I could understand why people like up there. Was my first experience, and it's just absolutely beautiful. But anyways, getting back to this, we do have our theme hikes, and we have one coming up here, which would be our pumpkin pie hike, and that generally draws anywhere from 80 to 90 to 100 people at a time. It's huge. It really is, and we just have a lot of fun. We do a short hike. We tried one time when we had all these people to try to shuttle them. By the time we got everybody shuttled to the starting point, it was, so we do like an out and back hike, and then they come down. We have people, our chapter members donate cider, they donate pies, and it's just really, it's really great. The other thing that we work with is diversity. We have been working with a couple of groups here, Tiger Paws, which is a youth ministry here local. We do and they're involving young people. We, for 2 years now, we've taken them to one of our sections of trail, and we have introduced them to a hike, and they came back and we had roasted hot dogs and stuff like that. That was last year. This year I had those little drawstring bags for them, and we packed them a lunch, and they hiked out to a certain point. They had their lunch, and there were there's the one section out there has this rope swing, so they're all taking turns, just having a lot of fun and coming back. So we do, like I said, we do have a really active hiking chairman, and she's working on. She has one hike a month. And then she also is working on an overnight backpacking trip, and she occasionally just throws in a hike just to see how many people want to show up for it. So it's really cool. Another thing that's coming up that we're going to do, and I asked Lauren to help me with this, is maybe next year, next spring, is try to have some kind of a workshop and to get some people in. Now, I contacted our membership department and asked if they could send me a list of people that would fit into the NextGen age group. So we'll wait and see what we get. And so we'll see how that goes. That we're going to work on something like that.
Okay, so our events are mostly hikes, and sometimes we have like a national North Country Trail Day on September 24th. We usually do a canoe, a potluck, and a hike. And on National Trails Day, we do a hike and a potluck. Sometimes we'll go, out after a hike, like just hit a local establishment for lunch or whatever. The potluck is always kind of fun. It's fun to just get together and chat. So, those would be the events. I think the group hikes are an easy way to come and get involved and meet people. So that's what I would suggest for this.
All right, thank you. I'm going to open up the floor to anybody who might have additional questions that I didn't already cover. Feel free to speak up.
I kind of have a question. And if you don't have a answer, I guess that's fine. But so what I'm noticing with this chapter here in the UP is it's hard to get young people interested in coming to things. And I also, part of it is yeah, people aren't gonna want to come see it as a place to meet other young people if there's no young people there to meet. But also there is sort of an expectation of oh, you're young and motivated and you must have all this time and you really want to do stuff, right? So here's 16 events you can do. How do you balance getting young people to come, getting them involved, but then getting them involved in a way that they're having fun and don't feel overwhelmed and over obligated, so that way they keep coming back?
Well, I will say that is something that we have identified because we have NMU right here in town. We have a lot of young people who are interested in the outdoors, but you don't want to be the only young person who comes and everybody else is over 60. And so I guess I would almost bounce it back at you guys. We thought with the trail and ale that, the breweries that might attract a younger group, and we'll see how that starts this winter. And I think we really need to try to get another NMU member on our board to have that contact. And then, like you said, if a couple of you go together, then we can expand that. And I guess the thing that you said about not overbooking people is I think we have to make it clear, anytime you can give or no time. If you just want to enjoy the trail, that's a great thing too, because if you love the trail, there will come a time where you find time and you'll give back. And so we don't need you to work right now if you can't. But that's not really an answer. Carol, you or Teresa.
I was sitting here thinking about what you said there, Lynn, and I thought, what if we, I'm thinking in my head, what if we had a young person, try to get a young person form their own hiking group of their age group. They can contact some of their friends, and pick a section of trail that they want to go on and kind of like do what they want. I mean, there's different, like, we talked about before, having theme hikes. Well, maybe they can do a theme hike, that would be something appealing. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been 16, so I don't know what the thing is, what do they like today, So I have grandkids that are that age, and all I see them do is on their phone texting, now they do play some sports and stuff, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know what would be appealing, but I was just thought about that maybe we could get a young person that would be interested in starting out small, it doesn't have to be a big group of people, but asking some of their friends, hey, would you like to come take a hike, and we're going to make this be a certain type of hike, pajama hike or dress like a sport. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know.
I would do a pajama hike.
What's that?
I said that's very fun. I would do a pajama hike.
Yeah, see, something just fun, or like if you did a Halloween hike, maybe you can dress up like a character, so.
Yeah, so Conservation Crew has done themed hikes before, and that's a great way to get new students engaged.
Mm-hmm.
I think, so I first off love the Trail and Ale idea. I think that is authentic, super original, and it's a great way to bring a lot of young people into the group. But I will say that surprisingly, a lot of us college kids don't drink because we are not of age, or we just don't, drink as part of our social environment. And so it was difficult to try to get students involved when it comes to after hike socials as a way to like entice them to join our groups and stuff. So the theme hikes really helped out, but also kind of incorporating the history of the land, like little lessons as we hiked. That's something that students were really interested in who weren't of age or didn't want to drink in a social environment like that. Or like having a picnic at some sort of hike location, like a pavilion. If you hike to a location to have a social, that could be cool. Yeah, it's really hard. Like there's no perfect answer because everyone has different hobbies and preferences. But I mean, we've had our challenges getting young people recruited to Conservation Crew too. But that's kind of what we were all about, is starting off small as a group of kids who just wanted to hike and learn more about trail maintenance involvement, for sure.
I have a question.
I don't have anything different to add other than, other than just, I attended the meetings and basically attended group hikes for a long time before I actually volunteered or went on a trail maintenance day. So, I mean, I think it's okay to, we're a pretty low key chapter. So, I mean, we put new opportunities out, like for once we had just someone go help the trail maintainers by being a blazing crew, and so they just agreed to blaze the trail, over the summer. And so we just put ideas out there, and if someone picks them up, that's great. If they don't, that's fine too. There isn't, you can just come and listen. In fact, most of the people at the meetings are just listening and may not be active volunteers.
So I just have kind of a random question. Since the three of you have been involved for, a good number of years, are you able to tell a difference between like the age of social media versus beforehand? Like, do you feel like Facebook and Instagram and all of these like ways that people are able to connect with each other has made a difference in like event attendance or putting together like different types of events and things like that? Like, have you noticed any difference since like Facebook and Instagram and like has become a thing?
Well, like I said, even though I've been hiking the trail for 40 years, I guess I would say absolutely social media has made a difference, because I didn't realize it was the North Country Trail until recently, and I probably found out through social media. So, and I think it's making a big difference in our group hikes. I don't know how you would gather people before, put it in the newspaper, but that's how we get everybody to join us. But that's all I have for that.
And I'd have to ditto what Lynn said, because it does make a difference. It, you know, if they're looking for something specific, they can get on our meetup, they can get on our Facebook, and they go, oh, wow, you know, and people will make contacts. They do, especially a meetup. Someone will click on our meetup page, I guess, and I get those notices, and I immediately send them a little thank you for your interest in our Wampum chapter meetup, and tell them a little bit. I don't want to make it too lengthy, and I ask them if they have any questions, or continue to follow us on Meetup or our Facebook to find out any upcoming hikes or anything else that might be of interest to them. So, you know, it does work. It really does. I truly believe in it, and it has made a difference.
Yeah, I think it's also a great way for people to see, like after a hike, I don't do the Instagram and Facebook, the social media work in our chapter. Peter Nordgren does, but I usually send him a picture of who is on the hike. So if you're curious who goes on the hike, you can see group shots there. Meetup is really nice. What I like about Meetup is that, you know, you can communicate with people through Meetup, but you're also not giving, you know, personal information, you know, so you can, it facilitates the communication about the event, and you can be, as involved or not involved as you want to be. So I think that's good. I think we get to a much broader audience. I notice a lot of people come to our hikes. A lot of the new people are people who are new to our area, looking for people, to meet new people. So.
Felicia, you typed down below about the NCT website, and that's another thing I didn't mention. People may not be aware of our chapter, but they know about the North Country Trail. So if they get on their website, they can find a chapter that's close to where they live, and they do sometimes they contact us that way as well.
All right, if there aren't any more questions, I think we'll wrap it up with the guest speakers. And then I have just a few things to talk about with just the NextGen folks before we totally call the meeting to an end. But I wanted to thank you guys for taking time out of your night to come and talk to us. This has been really nice.
Were we of any help to you guys? I mean, okay, good. As long as it was worthwhile for you guys. Okay. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for all you do, guys.